Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Ron Call. Like, share, subscribe, you know the vibes. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that's near and dear to my heart that a lot of my coaching students and mentees have an issue with, which is cold calling and making that initial phone call. So today, I'm going to show you some of the strategies of how I look at an initial call. First of all, you guys got to understand an initial phone call with a person is not going to yield a deal. What it's going to do is you're trying to find motivation. You're trying to find condition. You're trying to understand timeline. You're trying to get a ballpark of price. That's your first phone call. Usually it takes 7 to 10 touches again after you've actually spoke to them to actually nail down an actual contract. And it may be more follow-up to get the contract back. So we're going to start with some general light role play things that I've experienced myself, and we have scripts. You can go to our weekendmillionaire.com website and you can fill out a form and get a script or whatever you need. We can support you guys in that. So when I first call somebody, I call it the stack of rapport and the 4 pillars. So I may ask a qualifying question like about the condition of the property, and I may say, hey, how's work going? So where do you work at? You're stacking your information. You're trying to develop rapport and get them to open up, and prices always last. So let's just start with when I first get on the phone. If I'm cold calling and I got my dollar, you can use whatever dollar you like. If I'm cold calling and I jump on the phone and let's say the person's name is John, I don't ask them, hi, is this John? It's cold caller, telemarketer, click. So what I like to do is I just assume it's the person. So when I first talk to John, I go, hey, hello, hey John, how are you? And they're gonna obviously be like, who is this? Or they may go with it. Hey, I'm doing good, who's this? And I'll say, oh, my name is Ron. I'm with XPT Real Estate. Or I may even say I'm with a group of investors who recently saw your property in the area. We buy houses for cash. I want to see if you might be able to a cash offer. Real smooth. And you let them talk. They're going to tell you, I'm not interested. They may cuss at you. And even if they say, how'd you get my number? It's all pivoting. You say, we got our marketing team handles phone numbers. And also, we get it from public records. Just seeing if you might be open to selling a property or have ever considered selling it. It's okay if you haven't. You want to be soft at this process. And then you want to tell them, hey, our cash offers are based upon the value of the property, an appraisal value of the property, and minus the repairs of the property that are needed. We'll try to get you the best cash offer possible. Remember, you're on the seller side, not your side. This is a pivot in the mindset that'll change your game. I always let them know I'm trying to do the best for you. And you might get a hot seller, someone that's really hot. Well, what's your offer? Give me your offer right now. You just let them know, hey, John, if I don't get a little more information on the condition of the property, I won't be able to give you an accurate offer. That's how you handle that. Do you mind just telling me about some of the repairs needed on the property? Some of the renovations you would do on a property if you were trying to sell the property yourself. Has the home been updated in the past 36 months? The more information I get from you, the better I can get my underwriting team to give you a good offer. That's game. So that's once you get past that initial touch, the next step is you want to start talking to them. Say, hey, do you mind just telling me about some of the repairs like on the property? And some people may not give you anything. Like a lot of times people are like, oh, the house is fine. So when that happens, I typically will qualify them with 3 of my favorite things. Well, I'll say, okay, that's awesome, John. I'm sure the house is beautiful. We'll eventually get our construction team out to get the official renovation bids and inspection paperwork. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to hold it against you. So what I'll tell them is, in that situation, I'll be like, well, John, let me just get some of the super expensive stuff out the way. Like, has the roof been replaced in the past 10 years? They're going to say no, yes. Has the furnace been updated? Is it a new furnace? They say yes or no. Then also, the ones I like to focus on right now are appraisers that have been killing our team with the windows. A lot of homes have older windows built in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and they have the wood windows, and appraisers are making us replace all windows. So I just did a flip the other day with my team. We had to replace 12 windows because they just did not qualify to get the appraisal value. So that's huge. You want to ask them if they updated the kitchen in the past, 2 to 3 years. You want to give them a vision like, well, right now we're updating kitchen with white cabinets, vinyl floors, gray paint. We want it to look new and modern so we can get the best value for the property. We got to put $30,000 into these homes. We just want to make sure it makes sense for the new homeowner. We want to make a good product for them. And we also want to make sure we get you the best value we can for your property too. You're constantly giving and taking. So during this process, every time you ask a question, so if you ask a qualifying question, hey, like I like to initially say, let's say, I get John on the phone. Hey, John, how are you doing? How's your day going? I won't take up too much of your time. My name is Ron. I work with this department, or I work with a group of investors. You pay cash for properties. You open to selling your property or considering an offer. Great. So how's work going? You know what I mean? And they might tell you, oh, work's good. Okay, cool. You don't necessarily keep digging into rapport because the person may not be open to it. So you say, oh, how's work going? Great, good. Do you mind telling me about the condition of the home? They may get to talking. Oh, the roof is old, needs to be replaced. You say, so John, where do you work at? Now you open up that thing, that vessel. Oh, I work at ABC Warehouse. Oh, great. My uncle used to work at ABC Warehouse. You're connecting with the person without digging into their information. That's a big game changer. A lot of people want to just rapport, and no qualification. You need qualification so you don't waste your time on a lead that will never materialize into a deal. So I may let them go forward, and then he may tell me something more about the house. I may tell me about the kitchen, I'm like, did you raise your family here? Now I'm connecting on a higher level. Oh no, my family, this is just a rental. Oh, okay, great. You got kids? He said, oh man, yeah, I got 2 kids. Oh, that's great, man. Hopefully they're doing well, they're blessed. What do they do? You want to do 1 qualification or 2 qualification questions, 1 rapport. 2 to 3 qualifications, 2 rapport. That's how you stack it. And then as you're doing this, you're qualifying the lead. You're determining if it's even worth your time or if it just may be a waste of time or they may have 0 motivation. That's very important. So next after that, you get through the condition, you get all the repairs. Next thing you want to say is, timeline. Hey, John, if I can get this approved with my underwriting team, is this something you would want to get started in the next 30 days? Or, what's your time frame? What can we do to make this work for you? What time frame we looking at? They'll let you know. I really wasn't thinking about selling until the spring. And depending on your rapport you have with them, you may ask them, say, why in the spring? What's going on? Well, is there any reason maybe we couldn't get the process started in the next couple weeks? And that way you would have this clear off your mind. We could lock in some sort of an offer agreement, and we could even buy it in the spring, but get the title work started now. You always want to be closing. You always want to be closing all the time. You want to be moving people towards a yes all the time. A lot of this is just Tommy Hopkins. I'm a big fan of Tommy Hopkins. Every time you ask a question, you're qualifying a person to bring them closer to an actual yes or to flush out the objection. Sometimes, maybe on the second call, I may ask them, are you the only decision maker? It depends on the flow of the conversation. That's why I hate giving you guys scripts, because you guys lock in and you get to the point where you're like a robot. I got to ask all these questions. Half the time I can't get through the 4 pillars because the person may be heading to work. They may be a red seller where they're very hostile, aggressive, give me your offer now, cuss me out, whatever. As you grow through life, you realize every no and every no is closer to the yes, number 1. And then number 2, everybody that's a difficult person may be going through something in their life, and they're not bad for you. They're difficult for themselves, and I bless them from my heart to them so God can, take care of them, and hopefully it works on their spirit. Not my problem. I move on to the next person. So we got condition out the way, time frame. Then the next one you may want to ask is, hey John, motivation. Other than me giving you a phone call, is there any other reason why you maybe consider selling a property? Just give me an idea. You know what I mean? Like, just other than us reaching out, give you a phone call, where you kind of stand. Do you have any other plans for this property? Do you want to renovate and put the $30,000 into the property to go ahead and get it up to 2021 standards, light gray paint, new vinyl plank floors, brand new cabinets? Is that something you want to do? And just be quiet and listen. They may say, oh, we were thinking about listing it with a realtor. That's fine. You never disagree with a seller. Never. If a person told you they updated their entire house from top to bottom, you do not argue with them. You let them know, that sounds like a beautiful property. I don't know if I could add much value to you. Have you ever considered listing it with a realtor? And one of my favorites is when people ask me for outrageous prices. Like they say, oh, yeah, my house is $450,000. It could be in the middle of Ohio somewhere. No disrespect to Ohio, but an area where the actual ARVs are like 140, 170. And my new approach is like, hey, have you ever considered listening to a realtor? Because I don't think my bank would approve that amount over what the value of the area is. Never fight with a person. I even stop asking how'd you come to that number, because it's just going to anchor in and tell you, oh, well, there's new development around the corner. So now their 1940 house, they perceive it to be worth $400,000 as a new development where the developers put in brand new everything. So I don't argue anymore. I let them know, hey, maybe I'll follow up with you. I have a great realtor. They can maybe run a CMA, a comparable analysis for you, or even do an initial computer appraisal. But I'm in the 140s. You never want to create a headbutt situation. Then another part what you can do when you're offering, because we're pivoting into price now, which is your last pillar in this process. So even with price, I like to let them know this is just an initial homework. Because some people, you mention a number and they shut down. I don't give numbers until the very middle of the end, or until we're about to go to a contract. Then I anchor that into a close, which I'll probably do another video on that. I'll show you that. But what I like to do is I let them know, hey, John, in this area, our team have bought houses that need work between the 70s and the 110s. Is that anything that could work for you? And this is just initial offers. Is there anything that could work for you? Because a lot of times people won't give you the value, and they won't give you their price. And the problem is, if you keep prying, they're just going to shut down more. So you say, oh, what's your price, John? Well, what's your offer? It just does, it's headbutting. So instead of doing that, I say, hey, do you have a ballpark price that you need to be in on this deal that makes sense for you? How much money are you looking to walk away with? You want to ask soft questions and try to get them to open up. Say, hey man, I don't know if I get that number done for you. Is that the best you could do? Considering we're paying all cash, we're paying all your closing costs. Is there any wiggle room in that price? Sometimes you can get this in on the first call. Sometimes you can't, because it's a cold call process. They're not really a warm lead. They probably weren't even thinking about selling until you picked up the phone and gave them a buzz. So don't trip. You may have to call them 2-3 more times over the sales cycle of 2-3 months. But it's another lead that could equal and turn into, I don't like to talk about big checks because I feel like a lot of the guys oversell the big check. That could be another $10,000. That could be another 15 grand in your pipeline, or maybe even a home run 25. You never know until you follow up and qualify the lead. So hopefully this makes sense. I'm going to recap because we're all learning. I get better every day just by teaching as well. So when you call a person, number one, you want to start with, I know this person. Hey, John, how are you? Great. How is your day going? Good. And they say, who is this? This is Ron. Work with a group of investors recently in the area. Saw your property, see if you might be open to a cash offer for it. Simple. You want to stack your questions with one qualifying question, one rapport. One qualifying question, two rapport. Two rapport, one qualification. And watch back to some of the questions I asked you about rapport. The same thing with rapport. It's usually family, area, sports, job. Those are 4 really great, super awesome rapport pillars. Family, oh, does your family grow up in this house? Oh, what's your favorite sports team? Oh, you in Cleveland, you like the Bears? Me too, man, they're awesome, whatever team. Work, oh, how long you been working there, man? Yeah, my pops worked at General Motors. And I can't remember, it's another one, but review it. I'm just doing this off the cuff for you guys. So, that's recapping how you do an initial phone call. Do not get discouraged if you do not get a deal immediately. Some sales cycles, I've had leads in this pipeline 8-9 months, and then they finally pop. Or I've followed up with somebody I call an ant closing. Little baby steps. Little baby steps. Hey, John, assuming we could get this done for you, are you ready to start the process? I don't even know if I get it qualified. You're constantly taking people baby steps. So I call them small trial closes. This is advanced sales training that I just apply to real estate because I used to sell mortgages. So if you guys got value from this and looking for any mentorship or coaching, you can also tap into our Weekend Millionaire program. Probably be linked down here somewhere around there. And we hope to see you on the other side. Also, if you have a desire to work with us in the future, partnerships, private funding, investing long term to get returns on equity and rental properties, or even tap down below and also fill out that form on the Weekend Millionaire and put in your intent, and we will also get back to you from that perspective too. I just want to personally say thank you. I appreciate you guys tuning in and coming into my small little world and learning from my 15 years of real estate, mortgage, and finance experience, man. It's really an honor to serve you guys, and hopefully this gets to you and it takes your game to another level. Peace. Hey guys, hopefully you got some value from that YouTube video. Do us a huge favor. Click the link below if you want to partner with us or have any desire to get more information. Love to see you on the other side.